This lady is so much trouble. I already know this lady is so much trouble. This is Peggy Mallen, and Peggy Mallen is with G-Cue Billiards, and you sell, in fact you make, Balabushka.
Well, that's my other company, yes.
Right. You sell them here though.
I sell them through my store, G-Cue Billiards Store in Tempe.
Okay. Perfect. Now, do you have a pool hall too?
No, I do not own a pool hall.
Oh,
Thank
okay.
goodness.
Okay. Got to fix that. So, I was going to say, so first of all, let's tell us about Peggy. Are you an Arizona native?
Well, no, I'm not. I'm originally from North and South Dakota. Moved down here 31 years ago. Met my husband after I moved down here, and we were married for 28 years, and we worked several jobs before we got into the billiard business, but he passed away about a year and a half ago, and now I'm on my own with my sales manager, sidekick, and we're running the show. Okay.
So what brought you to Arizona from South Dakota?
I bet you can't imagine why. The weather.
So it was the weather, see?
Absolutely.
You're another South Dakota, so I am not going to go back and be cold.
Yes, that one winter when the wind chill was 99 below, and the only reason it wasn't worse than that is because they only track it to 99 below.
Yeah,
so.
Well, you know, it's funny, I spent 2 years in Alaska, most of the second year in Fairbanks. People don't understand that in the summertime it gets to be 95 degrees in Fairbanks.
Oh, yeah.
And it's humid.
Mm-hmm.
But in the wintertime it gets down to 60 below, and that's not a wind chill.
Right, exactly.
And that's 155 degree span. That's nuts. But obviously, I actually like Alaska in the wintertime,
mm-hmm.
but I like Arizona in the summertime too. So
yeah.
But I'm a little strange.
Yeah, well.
So now, if I recall the conversation we had before, your husband wasn't in the billiard.
No, he was a restaurateur. He had worked for many restaurants over the years, and he also, we met at the Arizona Biltmore. He was a manager of one of the restaurants there, and then we were married for a few years, and one day we decided, it was a Sunday, we decided to go down to this new pool hall on Elliott and Priest and just have a beer and bang some balls around, and we didn't know how to play pool. We hardly had done it before, and somebody came up to us and said, "Hey, do you want to put a team together and join a league?" And I said, "Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great fun." So we got our friends together and we played in this league, and we loved it and enjoyed it so much and really got into it. And then my husband needed to buy a new car. He needed a car payment, so he asked the league owner if he needed some help, and the owner said yeah. So my husband, who was a really good recruiter, grew his league by 100 teams. And so at that point, we were kind of getting into it, and he wanted to partner with that owner, and the owner said no. So we went ahead and bought our own league. And we brought the TAP League to Arizona, and we grew it. We were having almost 200 teams a week play with us every week. We played everywhere from Apache Junction to Avondale, and it was quite a business for us. And that's when my husband said, "Hey, these people need product," and we started selling.
Now that sounds like a restaurateur.
Yes,
okay?
Doesn't it?
Yeah, it's like, oh, hey, wait, these people need food. Come to think of it, they need drink.
Yeah, that too. Well, anyway, we started selling pool cues, and that's when we started our business, G-Cue Billiards Store, out of our home. And pretty soon I had pool cues in my bathtub and cases in my closet, and my laundry room was full of product, and I said, "Hey, we've got to open a store." So that's how G-Cue Billiards came about.
And you know, the whole reason I know a lot of this story is from you, is because I had asked you if you had ever seen The Color of Money.
Right.
and because we had a conversation about Tom Cruise's
Cruise,
character.
mhm.
Okay, but that's when you piped up with what you piped up with. I want you to say the line. Go ahead, say the line. Say it.
Well, Tom Cruise was in this pool hall and he wanted to play this person really bad, but he didn't have his pool cue with him. And the guy behind the bar said, "Tom, here, I want you to play with my Balabushka," and handed the cue over to Tom Cruise. And so that name all of a sudden became like everybody wanted to have a Balabushka cue. George Balabushka was a cue maker in the 50s. He was an excellent cue maker. He was out of New York. He made excellent product, and that's how his name became synonymous with billiards.
And now you have the
Right.
company
We
that
purchased,
manufactures.
my husband and I, we purchased the trademark rights to George Balabushka, and so we manufacture products under that name.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
See, I never knew that Balabushka was somebody's name.
Oh, yeah.
Being Irish, I just thought it was another nationality's version of a shillelagh. And having used cue sticks in that manner a couple of times in my life, yeah, because they can be used for something other than playing pool. They shouldn't be. That's not good, but they do have other purposes when necessary. So now we know how a nice girl like you got into the billiard business.
Right.
And we know about your husband passing a year and a half ago, you said?
Yeah. Mhm.
I'm sorry, darling.
No.
My late wife left 4 years ago.
Okay.
And I mean in that way,
Mhm.
not like she left me.
Mhm.
Although that's happened before too. But I know what you're going through. So you're moving right along with you and your general manager,
Right.
okay? You're pushing the business along. You got everything going good. And what are your plans for moving forward?
Well, I have plans on growing my business and moving it to an internet-based business, only because the retail side of it, having a brick and mortar store, is very difficult right now with the internet being the way it is. And right now my clientele is at a certain age. They're not totally immersed in the internet. However, the younger generation, the generation coming up, that's all they want to do. They want to order things online. So we're going to slowly move into that venue. However, we still want to be a place where you can get education as well as just product. I don't really like the point and click and get what you want. I like to have a little background information, more education on a product.
And you know, there was everybody going from offline to going online, and that destroyed a lot of businesses early in this
Right.
century.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the last few years, especially after that trend started to take out malls and larger stores, people seem to have, and this is not growing as fast as that trend did, but it's growing that more and more people, although they're shopping online, they want to buy local.
Yeah.
They want to try on the clothes.
Mm-hmm.
They want to feel the fabric.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking that feel, okay, especially with a good cue stick.
Mm-hmm.
I like a 20-21 ounce stick. Okay, I like the stick do the work.
Sure.
Okay, but you can't feel it
Right.
over the net.
Absolutely. I feel the same way you do. I don't know why anyone would buy a full cue over the internet without actually feeling it, touching it, using it, trying it. It baffles me, but people do it. I mean, people are buying cars now over the internet, which really baffles me as well, because don't you want to drive it and feel it and test it?
Well, I swear that they probably have driven that kind of car,
Mm-hmm.
because if they're spending that kind of money on something they have absolutely no tactile knowledge of, they're dumber than I thought. And that's saying something, because I figure some of them are pretty dumb. I've talked to some of them, and I'm pretty sure. They ain't got all the balls in the rack. So, it's been great talking to you. Give everybody your website.
Sure. My website is G-C-U-E, like pool cue, billiards.com. And we're on the northeast corner of Warner and Priest in Tempe, Arizona. Our phone number is 602-961-4000. And we are open Tuesday through Saturday from 10:30 a.m. to 6 o'clock p.m.
Perfect. And it's been great having you here.
Thank you.
We had a lot of fun conversations.
Yeah, we have.
We had a couple of fun conversations. So remember, folks, it's G-Cue Billiards.
With a C-U-E, not
Right.
the letter Q.
Don't make the mistake I did when she first told me the name and think we got a guy playing pool in a suit. Okay? It's not G-Cue, it's G-C-U-E. G-Cue stick.
Right.
Q, okay? .com.
Just one other point. I have over 300 cues in stock at my store and a table that people can come and try just about every manufacturer out there. If we don't have the cue that you would like, we can order it, bring it in, and you can try it before you buy it.
Got that, folks? You can actually test drive your cue stick. How many places that you do that, especially on the web? You can test drive your cue stick at G-Cue Billiards. Not .com. You can buy it at .com, but you can't test drive it at .com. G-Cue Billiards. Once again, the address.
All right, it's 1342 West Warner in Tempe, Arizona, and that's on the northeast corner of Warner and Priest.
Perfect.
All right.
Peggy,
Very nice.
thanks for being in.